Excellent. Welcome back to another Warframe breakdown with Guiding Titan 151, where we break down Warframe so you can be broken in Warframe. Today is an excellent day to get on Warframe because we got a huge event going on. It is called Tactical Alert Dog Days. And all we have to do is we play those 4 missions and we get 50,000 credits every single time we play one of those missions. Except for that last one, we got to kind of play it twice and we get an Orkan reactor, which is going to be really helpful to us as new players. In this episode, we're also going to go over how to get through Mars. And so, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So we got a couple of things. As soon as you log in, you'll notice that you actually will have gotten some things from the inboxes, and you'll get some lovely messages. So the very first message I got today was actually from Teshin here, and it was actually giving me a lazarite from the last dev stream. Yeah, I was watching. And then we had Lotus is informing us it's double credit weekend, so that means every credit that we actually accumulate today is doubled while going into our inventory. From any completed mission. So here we go. So we got communications. Let's go to back to our inbox, and then we have a nice, lovely message from Kayla.
Tenno! Sneaky, underhanded, snaky little Tenno! A special Rathum! Executioners and accused will fight with acid throwers! Let Rathum be... Let Rathum begin! Do you smell something? Gas leak! Gas leak! Gas leak! That's hilarious!
She sounds like she's on nitrous.
Executioners! Is such a nice day. Do we really want to fight? Or do we want to party? Water fight! I said water fight! Water fight! I want a drink with a pink umbrella in it. Water fight!
There we go. That was...
Tenno, vast numbers of Grineer ghouls are breaking ground near Cetus. Konzu requests any assistance you can provide.
Yeah, I'm busy. So let's go ahead and we'll get started with this. Here we go. So we're going to go right in here, and we are just going to go ahead and get started with all this. We'll start with the very first one. Now, when we're doing dog days, it's important to note that it doesn't really matter what Warframe we bring in. We can be a Master Rank 27 with every mod equipped, or we can have no mod equipped. It does not matter because everything gets removed, and we are given a nice little squirt gun, as well as 100 health that naturally regenerates when we're out of combat. So here we go. We'll go ahead and get started, and we'll see what this is all about. We also don't have very much longer in order to play this, so if you haven't gotten on and you haven't gotten started playing this event, I highly recommend it, as it will help you as a brand new player with a lot of things.
All right, now get up there and show me some H2O!
So we got our squirt gun. So we have to pump it, and we actually can aim and shoot. So as you can see, as I shoot these guys, and it is a fully automatic, so you can just hold down the trigger, but I gotta pump it. These little things right here in my bottom right hand corner, as you can see, I just filled up with water. Oh, this guy's gonna get me.
It's all fun and games until we start losing! Pick up your act, executioners! Fix the gas leak. You know, we never really talk.
We got these balls that we can actually just punch through. What would have been really nice is if we could have like kicked them. So I can't melee, and I can't switch to a secondary alt fire. Would have been really nice to actually fill those water balloons up, or the balls up with water, and like toss them at him and also deal damage. That would have been pretty cool. But no, we just get to kick them around. So as long as we're killing them at a 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 ratio, never getting less than 1-to-1 ratio, you're guaranteed to basically win this event and complete it. With a team or without a team, doesn't matter. So you can play this game type on solo. Do alright. Got some nice, calming, soothing music. Oh, you're getting me good. Oof. That's what I get going in unranked, right? Should have been a master rank 27, dude. Die, Jedi scum. So it does have a little bit of an arc, but not a terrible arc. Your range does go down as you use up ammo. So I was to just whomp on this trigger. Eventually, it wouldn't fire. Well, that's the important part of pumping. So like if I go in, eventually it's like. So as you can see that, whereas before I was trying to shoot him and now I can't even hit that guy. That's the importance of pumping. Oh, completely out of water. Fill up. Only 32 seconds left. Here we go. I'm out! So where's a fountain? There's a fountain. Delicious waterness.
Round over! Back in your corners and wring out your unmentionables! New round!
Kinky. $37, 1 death. Ho ho ho, here we are. We got that, as you can see, we also got 50,000 credits, so we were all set there. Oh, look at this. We got weapons to claim. Let us claim a brand new weapon. So we're going to just claim it, and we're going to level up what we got. Here we go. you know what? We also need to fix our cosmetics. Oh my goodness, we got some new stuff. So if you were paying attention during TennoCon, you actually got a brand new Warframe. If you were watching after 6 o'clock, you had to start at after 6 o'clock. And you had to watch a half hour after 6 o'clock. So if you only watched 25 minutes after 6 o'clock, you did not get this brand new Warframe, or I should say, Vaulted Warframe, Necros Prime. And Necros Prime is an amazing Warframe. If you've never used him before, you know, he might feel very, very squishy, but he is the farmer of farmers. He's the guy that you can go in any mission farm with a hint of farming, topped with some farming, with a dash of farming. And the reason why Necros is so superior in farming is because of his abilities. So we'll actually look at these real quick. So he has an ability Soul Punch, which allows you to take an enemy and turn him into a human projectile, where they fly at the enemy and, you know, parade through them. Terrify causes all the enemies to literally turn around 180 degrees and run away. And then we have Desecrate, and this is what makes Necros the greatest farmer, is this ability. So if you look at it, forces fallen, enemies around you have an 54% additional chance to drop loot. And as you can see, that it does cost 10 energy every single time you use this ability per corpse. So per enemy fallen within your Aurora that fall, they have a 54% chance to drop additional loot. And then we have Shield of Shadows, which you can summon the enemies that you actually kill, and you can bring them back to fight along your side, making him really, really, really powerful. Now, there are 2 augments. If you don't have these augments, I strongly recommend that you actually get them. You have Despoil and Shield of Shadows. Despoil, what it does is it actually changes that drain from energy and actually turns it to drain into your health. Now, if you look at his stats here, with only 100 health and 150%, 150 shields, that doesn't seem like too good of an idea. He's not a very high health Warframe. Like, Ryan, why on earth would you bother to try to actually switch that over from energy to health? You're just going to cause him to die just by desecrating guys. Well, it does. There's a couple of good news. The good news is that when you do have Despoil lock attached to this Warframe, when you actually do despoil and desecrate the bodies actually have a minimum. It will not go below 5 health. And so that's just to keep you from dying from using your desecrate. Shield of Shadows, there's this Shield of Shadows is an augment for it, and what it does is it takes all the damage that you receive and redirects it to the enemies that you pull back from the dead. And so the enemy's health, as you can see, has a health multiplier and it has a shield multiplier. So if you go out and you kill a whole bunch of really, really heavy armored dudes, they will actually receive the damage that you're supposed to take with Shield of Shadows. And it does have a cap up to it. It is up to 95%, so some of that damage you actually will take, but it actually significantly increases in survivability. Ideally, with both of those mods on, Shield of Shadows redirecting all the damage so you don't actually take it, and then Desecrate making it so that you actually drain your health rather than your energy, it allows the ability to be activated indefinitely. And then if you have another mod called Equilibrium, what it does is every single energy and health orb that you actually pick up, it gives you a certain amount of energy back. Equilibrium here. Now you can get a rank 10 mod in the game, so health orbs give 8% more energy, and energy pickups give 8% more health. So if you get the rank 10 mod, that is actually 110% of each. So it doesn't matter whether you're picking up health or whether or not you're picking up energy, you will gain all that back. This makes a very nice cycles, and I love cycles in Warframe. So essentially, you use Desecrate, you go down in health, you pick up a health orb, you gain energy. You gain energy, you cast Shield of Shadows again, and then your energy goes down, you pick up an energy orb, you gain health. And it just cycles back and forth, and it is just this triangle between those 3 mods, just all activating all simultaneously. Essentially, it makes it so your Necros is a tank, and he's really, really hard to kill, and he drops additional loot. And the last and final thing that makes this Desecrate the greatest farming is that it doesn't have a cap on how many enemies that actually enter the Aurora. The enemies that enter the Aurora, so if you build for a range build, the enemies that enter the Aurora will be desecrated. In addition, it stacks. So if you go on a mission with 4 Necroses, that is 220% chance of them dropping additional loot. That means every enemy is guaranteed to drop 3 items with a 20% chance of dropping a 4th item. Every enemy on the map. That's not a cap 20. So right now Korra and Hydroid have a cap of 20 enemies that can be that their ability where they have a guaranteed chance of 100%. So that's 100% additional, so that's only 2 drops versus 4, making Necros cause enemies to drop 2 times the amount that any single group with a Korra or a Hydroid would have. And that's what makes this probably one of the best Warframes to have early on in the game, just because you can go throughout the entire game getting additional loot, which is really helpful because in the start of the game, you have nothing. So here we go. We'll go ahead and we're just going to decorate him real quick. We're going to make him look all beautiful. So we'll go ahead. We'll turn that green. We'll change his, we'll keep that color. Let's see. Maybe we will go with, nope, not going to change that one either. But we also have, they did an update with the Genovian Accord where we have emissives now. Emissive is all the color that actually touches the Warframe, and then energy is what you cast. So that would be like changing the soul punch. So as you can see, that would be the energy around him. That would be like the soul punch. And then we'll go like change that one to that. And maybe we don't have exactly a whole lot of colors to pick from because we are noobs. Who would have thunk? Let's see. No, not that one. There was
unexpected
another one. That's
color
the one.
combination, operator. My sensors are bleeding.
We'll just do that for now.
Pleased.
So we'll go with Regilia's. Let's see, we can go. We're gonna get a new emblem here in a second, so we'll just keep that there. But we do, because we were actually playing, we actually did get an Inferma. We got the Lotus Inferma, and this is a gorgeous Inferma. So we're gonna keep that just like that. Let's go ahead. We'll switch back to our Excalibur, and we are definitely gonna throw that Inferma on our Excalibur as well, because you cannot go wrong with beautiful flowers. Here we go. We'll go back to our Necros, and we're going to go inside of our next mission. And because we all have the same amount of health and everything gets stripped, including mods and whatever, it does not matter. We'll just go in as our Necros. Back to doggy days. We'll doggy paddle our way to victory. Look at that. We got some friends. If you are a brand new player, I strongly recommend that you play on public. And the reason for that is because every person that you have in your squad while you're going through standard missions, every kill that they get, a percentage of that actually goes towards your affinity. And when you have a full squad, it maxes out the number of enemies that can spawn in a single match. When you're actually running through it on solo, because there are less players, it decreases the difficulty to make it easier for you as a player to actually go through the mission and be able to complete each mission. So less dudes equals less affinity, more dudes, more teammates equals more affinity, because more enemies will spawn, more enemies that spawn, more enemies that die, therefore more affinity. Whoa, we're out of water. Let's go like that. If you do happen to miss this stream today and you guys are worried about that, it might not ever make the YouTube. It is currently being recorded and it will be hitting YouTube later this week. And that will be a tutorial to help any player that's playing in the mission. Oh, come back here. Come back here, skinny top hat dude. I dislike you because you run really fast. I swear he looks like Teshin. Big head. Running around almost like it's cut off. scum. Disagree. So as you can see, I can't use any of my abilities either, so... And that's not because I'm unranked, that's just because that's the game type. So passives don't work either. If you notice, these enemies aren't even dropping anything, so... What would be the point of desecrating so that doesn't drop anything? Gonna burst your bubble. Go to the bottom of the lake and breathe. Some people might even call some of these clones spawning up from these lakes holistic gynecology. All these clones spawning everywhere. Hey, I pulled this from the same water that your little brother came in from. We all know what little brothers do inside of pools. It's a family thing. This is a family-friendly event. I didn't realize you were invited.
The only fun to be had in Rathoom is by me watching you die. Why has nobody died? Oh, right.
Oh, what is this? Macaque pearls. There we go.
What
We
is it
got a
for
relay
secret
there.
messages for the operator? No.
Breaking records every day. So it looks like those macaque pearls, what you can also do is while the event is going on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm leaving you. I'm ditching you. Now that we've gotten the macaque pearls, what we can do is we can actually take these macaque pearls and we can actually go to Cetus. At least while the event is going on. Fortunately, when the event ends, it's kind of like any syndicate. So what is a syndicate? we go. Oh my goodness, it's so dark. Went from nice and sunny tropical to a dark and dreary night. Here we go. Now, if you are a brand new player, I do not recommend spending a whole lot of time here, but because this is an event,
With or without purchase, Ura. I'm here to help.
these are definitely important. Oh, yay. So yeah, you can get items decorated for the orbiters and stuff like that. So definitely recommend running these multiple times so you can get more. The more you get, the more stuff you can get from the CAC. And you can get emblems. Ooh, that'd be an emblem on the side of your shoulder. That looks nice. But we're going to focus on that Stratos one. Here we go. Now we're going to go back. We're going to go ahead and do the other one. And it looks like we are 50 out of 100.
Hosers and squirts, fill your weapons. Stop complaining. You know you'll love it.
She definitely sounds like she's on nitrous. Oh my goodness. Oof. Rip, Necros. Rip. Suck on this. Got my like little flying feathers there. Or if there's like some hang like it's sad to see all these Grenier drowning outside of the water. Oh my goodness. Oh, these fluffy balls. Oof. Man, he got me good. Rip. Rip again. Rest in pieces. I don't know if you guys know, but the guy who invented autocorrect, yeah, he died. Restaurant in peace. Very good. Oh, I'm completely out of squirts. You got me.
Round over! Mop 'em down and rack 'em up!
Just a little necros floating in the water. Look at that, 30 more Nekek pearls. Okay, I know we're on the last one. Oh, sorry, second to last one. I wonder why that one. Yeah, it looks like we're still on this one. Oh, those blinking nodes. So much to do, so little time.
3, 2, 1, I order you to have fun! Ding, ding, ding!
Make me. You know, go parent your own children. Oh, here we go. They have me surrounded. I'll hide in here and then. Oof. I thought that was a kind of good idea, but I guess not. Like, that's what I get for thinking, right? Just play the game, girl. Don't think. Your mom came from a garbage can. Don't go looking that up. I've seen lambs that were born cosmetically prettier. These guys are literally peeling over, dying over water. I think it's like acid to them. Look at that, all these guys are leopards. Oof. There we go. All drenched again. There we go, there we go. I'm gonna go hide over here for a hot second while I'm healing. Don't leave me alone! Go find somebody who else who... Oh. So what do you call a Valkyr Prime with a front Regalia as her front sigil? Or, yeah, Lumbo's Rift Sigil as a front Regalia. That's right, breast augmentation.
Round over! Mop 'em down and rack 'em up!
There we go, victory! Only died half a dozen times, but it's okay. It's a victory nonetheless. Oh, look at what we got
Warframe
here.
has received messages for the
Noggle
operator.
statues.
No, I have not read them.
That means we got another 50,000 credits. Oh my goodness, we're racking up in the credits pretty nicely there. Okay, so we are on the last and final section of this event before we're going to go ahead and move on to bigger and better things and get on with the rest of the map. But we want to make sure we did these events because this is going to boost us up quite a bit as brand new players. Because we're brand new players and we don't know what we're doing. So if you're on Xbox and you hold down the A button, you can actually get all your vents to open.
Hosers and
Oof. He's been spending too much time in Fortuna.
Stop complaining. You know you'll love it.
Come here, you little squirt. Oh, never mind. Go away. You guys want to hear a Fortuna joke? Knock knock. There's who's there? Not Thursby. He prefers to be called Legs now. But then again, that's kind of giving him a lot of credit. Oh my goodness, the little bugger. I gotta like hit that guy like that. Oh! See, that was a bad move there by letting him knock me down like that. There we go. Oh. Little scrawny with a hat. Come here. Come, get hit in the face like you're supposed to. Man, I hate scrawny face. You know what they say? You give a kid a bath, he stays clean for a day. You throw a whole bunch of grenadiers in a pool, and they stay clean for the summer. Ish. Because after they're done with the summer, then it just becomes a polluted wasteland. Progress. Only 1 minute left. Ha! Take that, scrawny hat! Like, seriously! Ah, not scrawny hat again. Ah, where'd you go? I killed you. Go away.
So you won't
Ugh. A modest 67 to 22. Oh, marvelous. Looks like we just got one more to do. Dog Days, Mission 4, Part A. Update 1.6.3.22. Tomorrow we'll be getting 2.3. Yep.
Are you ready to get wet? Shush.
Oh, you should not be
Yes.
saying that like that, kill it a thing.
Don't bother me with details.
Oof. Now those guys just up and surrounded me. Oh, we got a Baruch. Baruch, you'll drown yourself. You belong in the desert.
Executioners! If those were still acid cannons, you'd be in a world of hurt right now. Who's the Tenno for Squishy Honor?
Oh my goodness, skinny hat again. Oh, that was rude to jump on me like that. Here we go. Man, you guys are all drowning out of water. So much water. Oh my goodness. They got us good. Oh, skinny hat, got die, skinny hat. Oh my goodness. Stay away from my friends. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Eat that skinny hat. That's what you get for killing me 3 times in a row in the last mission.
So you won this one. Best out of how many have? Let's do it again, meat sacks!
Oh, fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. We'll see what our progress was. Now with this, we should get a Stratos emblem, which we can throw on our Warframes. And we got 50 macaque pearls.
Unread inbox messages make me ill.
Yep, so we did get a new emblem, so we're going to ditch these guys like last night's dinner.
Seems like every last
We're going to be all over those emblems like fat on a mother-in-law. So we can go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and go to, what am I doing? Regilia's. Now it looks like we kind of did something. And we've kind of sort of been part of the...
If I may say, operator, your chosen Warframe suits
I think this is
you.
the one that I wanted.
Ha.
Come on, do it. Do it. Boom. Boom. There we go. Yep, that's the one we like. So before we go ahead and progress, I think it's kind of important that we actually throw something on here so we don't look like we're going to die. Probably throw some vitality on. So with Necros, it's very important that we have strength. So let's see, do we get a better strength? We do not have a better strength, so we have a pretty crummy strength. Wow, we have like nothing. So we'll throw as much as we possibly can. Let's go to our Excalibur. We're gonna level up our Excalibur first.
Phobos has been counting stars, operator. All accounted for.
I think there might have been an augment that we could get. Let's do the. Let's throw our emblems on first. Our rewards. That way we can look beautiful, and gorgeous, and broken and powerful. Yeah, I know we got an EU, we got assist. I know there's a lot of you saying EU assist, but in our last episode we talked about how that was important, that we're keeping it as ugly as it is and how giant that hair is. We're gonna keep it just for a little bit longer because we want the helmet a little bit more than we want other things. So let's see. Let's go to Cetus. Let's see if we can get an Aurora. Because I think I saw an Aurora back there with Nakak. But boy, do we need mods, and we need good mods. Because we look like fresh bait. Squid bait, even. And we're just bullet jumping all our way through to Nakak. I know we could fast travel, but I like sightseeing a little bit. Makes it feel more like a,
Others
you know,
have
a game.
one price for locals and one for off-worlders.
Let's see, we got
I'll
Mediray.
give you the local price every time.
Let's see. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of good things here. And we're just 10 shy of something that is very, very good, and I strongly recommend. Sentinel will heal you occasionally. Heal its owner, restoring 12% of its health over 4 seconds. And that's kind of important for your more tankier mods. But yeah, that's definitely a good one right there. So we'll... We will go with this one because we do need colors. Because boy, are we ugly! We got a little bit more colors. It's important that when they do have these updates to just go ahead and just take a quick second and just scan through the market, because a lot of times what they do is they have a whole bunch of color palettes that you get just for free for like, you know, a couple of color palettes for like a credit each. So every now and then, like, we can get on, just scroll through the market, see what they got that's going on, and you know, purchase the cheap stuff, the affordable things within our noobish price range. So let's see. We got a limited time only. Let's see. Is it worth it? No, it's worth platinum. And we do not care about platinum. We care about free. Because that's what we like is free. See, Daybreak. And sometimes these color palettes, they get dropped by Borrow KT when he comes around every other weekend. He was here yesterday. Unfortunately, we did not stop by and talk to him. None of these are for free, so we are SOL out of there. Well, we got quite a few credits. We got a lot of that. That's all good. So we probably should progress on. So let's see. We got couple of quests here. So let's see what our next objective to get through Mars. So like I said, the most important thing is that we unlock every single planet so that we can have access to the resources. So if we actually click down here, if I click on that, as you can see, it switches this, and this switches over. This was part of the update. This used to always be here before, but they actually changed it so you can have episode status as well. So we'll have this, and if we look at our resources, we have, looking at it from top to bottom, we have Morphix all the way to Felderon samples, where Morphix is the most common of the item drops. And we do not have any resource drones, so we cannot deploy those at all. So ideally, we would want to be running Necros at this one point, just because Necros increases our drop chance of items, and we like additional loot as we are new players and we don't have anything. But I want to level up our Excalibur here first. So our very first mission here was we have an Exterminate. It is 8 to 10. Looks like there's open 1 squad. This is the next mission we have to complete, but we got to see where we're going. So we got Phobos Junction, and in Phobos we have to defeat 100 enemies in a single mission on Mars. Try endless missions such as Excavator Survival and Defense. That's just a hint. Scan 3 Cephalon fragments on Mars. Equips Codex scanners to your gear wheel. In the arsenal, 1 fragment spawns randomly per mission. That is not entirely true. They need to fix that because it's a fragment, either cephalon, or it could also be a somochord, or it can also be a the Lopedex guys that you can collect, and you can collect all of them for Frame Fighter. The Frame Fighter scans. One of those 3, it's possible to scan, and they can spawn in any mission in any combination. So they either need to change the drop chances so that 1 is guaranteed to drop, or they need to update the information. But it is possible to run through these missions without getting a Cephalon fragment. Good news is we only have to find 3. And so that's very good news for us because we just have to find 3 of them on Mars. So let's go back to our gear, because that's where we're going next. Let's see, and it looks like we do. We have 88 of them, so we're pretty good there.
Excellent armaments. Please return.
Covered in blood.
And the reason why we're going to Phobos, because if you look at the big map, it looks like it's a giant circle. Why on earth are we not going to Ceres first? Well, because if we look at the Mars Junction here, one thing we have to do is we have to kill the Sergeant on Iliad on Phobos in order to complete this junction. So we have to go to Phobos before we go to Ceres. So we'll do that here real quick. We're going to go to Hellas. And then we'll make our way up and around. And these are going to go by really quick. Looks like we're joining somebody too, so that should make it easier. More people we have in the squad, the better. Always the more people, the better. So a lot of people will say, it's like, but I don't have any friends. Well, get some. Get some friends. And again, if you don't have any friends on Warframe, you can always shoot me a friend invite, Guiding Titan 151, and I would be more than happy to accept it so you have a friend for Warframe.
There is a large platoon of Grenier Marines stationed here. Leave no one standing.
Here we go. Oh my goodness! Ah! That was a little too late. A little too late, bro. So you can see at the bottom they were actually collecting things towards Nightwave, which that is very good for us. Because boy, do we need stuff for Nightwave, because we are broke. If you do happen to complete the very first things, oh my goodness, there we go. Of course, my friend is kind enough to actually stand in the way. How thoughtful of him. You would just stand in front of your face. See how I went to 2 guys like that? I don't know if you noticed my attacks on there. He's actually slowing these guys down, which actually makes like finding assassin targets very nice because it just kind of holds them still while you point and shoot. Killed 10 enemies with a primary weapon. That is good. Good deal. Ooh, that was an Xmas. Oh, that giant wave of fire? Yeah, that's an Xmas. Are they not friendly? Oh, very gorgeous. Oh, that was a nice ground pound. Got him. See how he sliced like that? That's because I procs him with slash, and that slash procs actually took him directly in half. And that's because the Skana actually has a higher amount of slash, and so proportionately it has a higher chance of actually proxing slash. I should have been shooting them though. That way we can get Nightwave. Ooh, both went down.
The enemy is broken. Well done. We'll get to
Oof.
extraction. Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So every single one of these that you're seeing, all these bars, the blue bars, the Skana, the Atarax, the MK1 Brat, and the Lado, Exalted Blade, all those items as they level up actually help increase our mastery rank. And ideally, at the very first beginning of the game, you really do want to get your mastery rank all the way up there. A lot of people will say mastery rank just tells how far along you've progressed in the game. It does a whole lot more than just tell you how long you've progressed in the game. It gives you increasing in standing capacity for daily limits. It increases a lot of different capacities, and the higher those capacities are, um, in reality, those the more the higher those capacities, the more spending power you actually have. And he really probably should want to do Tharsis on Mars, just because going to that Maru's Bazaar, getting him access to that is important, because that will actually help us with trading. I was so happy that he accepted that anyways, because he might have been missing out on quite a bit there. Maru's Bazaar, very important relay.
Your target today is a Corpus rover. Take control and escort the rover to extraction. The Corpus are trying to scavenge anything of value from these crashed ships. This rover is carrying their most important finds. You're still in the clear. No detection from enemy sensors.
We could have taken that elevator, but that would have been silly. Oh my goodness, we better just get this up and going.
The rover is active, but wait. The Corpus have remotely corrupted its power cell. Hold on. I will reconfigure the rover to draw power from your shields.
And just stand up on top of this thing and just like mow them down. Kill as many of them as you possibly can. Now, as a brand new player, this is a painfully hard mission. That's mostly because your shields are kind of low, you don't have a whole lot of them, you don't have exactly a whole lot of things to level up to begin with. Kind of using this as a barrier.
So far, so good.
We have such a long ways to go. Oh, I remember how long these missions would take. You kind of run away for a second, let your shields recharge. This is, if you're wondering how to get through this faster, if you get the Warframe Hildren is such a good Warframe for this because that is all she has is shields.
Content will be a huge boost to our cause.
And having a lot of shields is a big help. Those yellow ospreys, what they do is when you actually kill those ospreys, they have a chance of dropping that rare resource right there. And that is Oxium. Those are the only enemies in the game that actually drop that resource. We're going to pick these up right here because we need resources.
Protect the rover. If it's destroyed, this mission will be considered a failure.
Don't tell me what to do, Lotus.
You have almost reached the extraction point. Keep fighting.
Oh, I'm so low on health. 94. Oof.
Heavy robotic signature detected. Lock and load.
Come on, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Ah. Oh, now it tells me I'm low on health by beeping that up. No, I was low on health 94 health ago. To victory, victory. Here we go. We could go all the way. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Excellent. This cargo will be a big help to our cause.
You think? So the important thing that you're actually noticing, you'll notice that we got these orange bars, and how on earth do we get those orange bars? That's bonus affinity that we get for completing the mission. It's the affinity that we get from our teammate and the kills that they made. That bonus affinity comes from all sorts of different places. But all in all, if you die, that bonus affinity goes away because you sacrifice that affinity that you gain in order to revive yourself. Here we go. We're going to see if he just wants to tag along with us. I'm cool if he tags along. It's a trap 124. So other thing that you can actually do to help you make sure that you find those Cephalon fragments is equip Thief's Sweat, which allows you to increase your enemy radar as well as loot radar. There's loot detector. There's just a lot of mods out there that allow you to actually increase your radar so you can see different things, including enemies and loot boxes and stuff. Thief's Sweat is specific to loot boxes.
I need you to sabotage this ship's reactor. The reactor is a complex system. Start by removing the coolant cells.
I'm going to pull up my big map because the big map is easier to...
There are rich enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Search them out if you are willing to shoulder the added risk.
Ooh, picked up some affinity there. So you can see at the bottom there was a little box and it said ×0. That's called ciphers. Ciphers, what they do is they allow you to just hit Y there, and then you can sacrifice one of those ciphers in order to just automatically bypass that. Very helpful when you're trying to complete Master Rank 5 tests. So I highly recommend getting a couple of those. A couple or a couple hundred. However, one thing is important to note that even though those are very helpful and you can get those ciphers do not work in sorties, which come after your Master Rank 8 when you've completed the once a week quest. If you just roll and dodge through there, you sustain very little damage and just bypass them anyways. Oh, just hit a cold thing. So one thing about the sabotage crates, the caches. Those caches, when you get close to them, they actually will have a um, high pitched sound to them.
Cell extracted.
So you know when you're getting close. I'm just going to check all these because these are all possible locations for that. They do have a tendency of dropping additionally rare items and
The reactor
contents.
is going stasis. Now is your chance to complete this sabotage. Use whatever you can to make sure it never works again. A coolant cell has been extracted.
Here we go. Oh, this is not good. So melee weapons, this is this character, his name is Stalker. We've just barely met him. And he doesn't exactly like us. And he killed me. He does have a chance of dropping a weapon called the War. Oh, are you going to give me 500 affinity, devotee? Nice. And they didn't give me 500 affinity. That's odd. It's supposed to give you 500 affinity when they revive you.
A fuel cell has been placed in the coolant system. Restarting the reactor will produce hazardous magnetic activity. Guard the console and prevent lockdowns while the fuel erodes the coolant system. A security lockdown has stalled your progress. Clear it.
You should not have thrown the coolant cell in. Let's see what else we can find. Not a single cache so far? What is up with all this?
Beware, Tenno. This ship is experiencing reduced gravity and magnetic anomalies.
Do you mind magnetic anomaly? Go bother someone else. Oh, these are very important. So what these are is these are actually IATAN stars. And IATAN stars, what they do is you can place them in things called IATAN sculptures, and they give you endo. And endo can be used for increasing and ranking mods. Very, very important to the game. Oh, fudge. Oh, there it is. You can see it trying to pull us towards it. Oh, he took us before we could find anything. Ah! When there, that's important. That's another thing to mention. When there is somebody that is waiting at extraction, you do have precisely 1 minute in order to make it to extraction before the game automatically extracts you both. I feel like we need some help with some of this stuff here. Let's see. So actually, we do have an Orican reactor. Let's see, did our Necros come with an Orican reactor? It did. So because the Orican reactor came on the Necros, I'm going to go ahead and throw it on my Excalibur. And that's going to help me with a whole lot of things. So we're going to actually remove that. We're going to throw that one on, because continuity is important for us. We got to max out Hunter Adrenaline. Look at that. We're going to take this Vitality. That'll help us live a little bit next time, you know, what's his face comes around. And let's see, do we have a thief's what? We do not have a thief's what? I don't really care about enemy radar. This will allow you to see the enemies, so I'm not going to worry so much about that. But I will throw on a fast deflection. Oh wait, and we can throw 100 adrenaline on too. And equilibrium, why not? Oh, we're gonna throw this on. Why didn't I do that before? Throw one of those on.
Ordis has been counting stars, operator. All accounted for. your mod collection in order? No, I
We'll go
haven't
back and we're
mod
gonna
equipped to
upgrade
feel
this
envy.
one. Both very, very important. Oh wait, no. Oh, I'm not doing. We're not doing that. We're not going backwards. We're not going to Venus. Let's see. We got 1 out of 3 with that, and then 150 enemies in a single mission. We don't have that, so let's do. I bet you we can get thrown in with somebody on this mission here, and that should be able to help us complete that next mission. Let's get hooked up with a full squad, yeah!
We're here in search of lost artifacts and items buried deep below the surface. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
I don't think we completed 150 enemies yet with our primary weapon. Oh, these guys are a lot easier to kill just by switching out those mods. Mow them down.
Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
Oh, we got a wisp. This is important. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness there's a wisp. So, the wisp, the reason why that's really nice that we got a wisp here that's helping us is because a wisp is a warframe, and that person who brings that warframe, they can lay down these flower pots, and these flower pots, what they do is they increase our rate of fire for everything, like our attack speed, fire rate, whole 9 yards. They increase our maximum health capacity. As you can see, I'm sitting at 800 health over there, in addition to giving us an electric aurora. So these guys are getting zapped, and there's nothing that they can do about it.
Excavator has lost power. Find another cell.
And these flower pots just kind of float around us, so it's super, super nice. And this Bliss is going to make this a breeze.
Excavation complete. Look what we found. Extraction is now available.
Oh my goodness, I remember when you had to do like 2 of these before extraction would pop up.
while it extracts the artifact. An artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site.
Oh, I really wish the wisp would pop down more. Oh my goodness, we got a Wukong too. Oof, so nice. So Wukong, I don't know if you saw the size of that staff, but man, dude. We're rolling with the big boys now, guys. One of them was Master Rank 3, but it looks like that explains why they haven't done anything with their Wisp. Oh, how dare you grab me? That's sexual harassment right there.
Look what we just uncovered.
Harassment. Oh, we finally got some stuff. There we go. Oh yeah. Let's see our kill count real quick.
Excavator deployed.
Sitting at
Protect the unit while it
107
extracts
total
the
kills.
artifact. An artifact has been located. Proceed. to
Even
the
if
dig
these
site.
guys leave, I gotta stay because I gotta get to that 150 mark. Most of my damage that I've gotten, where I've killed all these guys, have actually been from me using that fourth. As you can see, I got 60 this round. That's quite a bit. I don't know if you guys saw that, but you see how I dash between all those enemies? That's my first ability, and that's because I have range. When I increase that range, I can dash between guys that are a lot farther apart.
Dig complete. Your hard work has just been rewarded.
Let's see, where am I standing at? 154. So if I wanted to, I could leave right now. But I think I want to just go ahead and finish up the other ones as well, like killing so many guys with my abilities, as well as getting my 150 with my primary weapon, because I'm just so close. Might as well finish up and get some Nightwave, you know what I'm saying?
Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protect it from enemy fire. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
So close, so close, so close. There we go. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Now all I gotta do is finish killing guys with my abilities, which shouldn't be too difficult. I'm gonna just wait for the big giant mobs, and then use my third, and it's guaranteed to get me to kill at least 12 of them. And I say at least 12 because my third ability releases 12 swords from the point of impact and sends them off shooting at the other guys.
Look what we found.
This Wukong might end up taking all my kills with how big his range is. I don't know if you saw that.
Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
Oh my goodness, a Cephalon fragment. How beautiful. I knew I should have stayed, and I knew that was a great thing to stay for. That's 2. At this rate, I might be able to finish up a whole bunch of
Need
stuff.
Another power cell for the excavator.
What I really like about the fourth is when you do a slide attack like that, it actually does your second, just by naturally just sliding like that, which makes it really, really nice and easy to take dudes out.
Look what we just uncovered. Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
See who we got up here.
An artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site.
I don't want to use my ability on just 2 guys. Like a giant
The
mob.
excavator has run out of power. Find a cell.
Now these guys are probably here for relic farming. Because these excavators, they give you quite a few relics just for like going through each match. But if they were just going just for standard relics, I feel like they should probably be looking closer towards
The excavator has lost power. Find another cell.
if you go to Sanctuary Onslaught gives relics out faster if you're just doing just relics. But my personal favorite thing to do when it comes to relics is just simply running the relic mission by itself and just dumping relics into it. You stay long enough in any endless mission, you start just getting all the relics back. So why on earth would you work harder than you need to? Just relic farm.
Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact. An artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site. Excavator destroyed. Protect the remaining dig sites. The excavator has run out of power. Find a cell. Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
We'll take out this Xmas first.
We need another power cell for the excavator.
Oh, nice. So beautiful. 110, just like
Excavator
that.
Destroyed. Protect the remaining dig sites.
And that's why you do go on public, is because all this helps out.
Find a cell.
Helps out all of your stuff. So if I just did this like on single player and I was just, sticking around, then,
Scanner has picked up
I'd be
target.
losing
Go
all of
to the
that.
dig site.
I think I really should be
Excavator is
hanging out
ready
at
to
A
go.
with them.
Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
Go to A.
The excavator has lost power. Find another cell.
Let's see if I can get another energy ore. Very nice, very nice.
Excavator destroyed. Protect the remaining dig sites.
Now it does come to a point that because we're staying here and we're trying to do all this, when we don't actually complete these excavators while we're doing this type of mission, we don't gain anything from it. So that's why at a certain point, when it comes to excavators, it's just better just to leave and then come back. Just because if you keep on losing the excavators, you keep on losing what you could be doing. So I'm only staying here because I need the 150 kills with abilities. So I'm just constantly just trying to get my abilities all the way up there.
Task complete. Your hard work has just been rewarded.
Oh, they got a bolt tour.
Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact. An artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site.
Oh, Fuddruckers. I'm leveling up nicely, though. This is definitely helping out my XP, that's for sure. Getting some CC action in here. And just 20 more and then I'm going to bail. Because that's going to complete a lot for me. And I say for me because, I'm just a masher rank, 2.
Look what we
Looks like this person wants to bail. Yeah, they're bailing. So if they're bailing, I might as well bail. I can get those last 20 on the next round. So that is quite a bit. So that puts me only 20 away from completing, killing the enemies with the, with my abilities. But ooh, all of that bonus. That is a lot of bonus XP. Almost halfway onto Master Rank 3. So that was a good mission. So let's check out our progress. We should have progressed a little bit more from our Phobos Junction. So we've killed 150 enemies. Now we need to open up 3 Lith Void Relics. And that's not too hard. We just go over to this mission here, and we just got to open up 3 of these here. So it looks like we got Mars. We can do that one. And we got plenty of relics. And oh my goodness, we got an extra little prime blueprint relic right there. We are not going to use any of that. We're going to use these volted relics. It looks like this is a Mars mission, so if we do happen to find a Cephalon fragment, that will complete our last and final.
Void fissures. You need them to open a relic, but are you confident you can withstand their fury?
We're going to make that nice and easy for them.
Look out for reactant. We have got to find a terminal. Proceed and prepare. The enemies are dropping reactant. Don't forget the reactant. You need more to open the relic. Terminal spotted. Upload me and prepare to defend.
I'm kind of holding on to this kind of makes it easier because the more guys will spawn, and then because the guys will spawn, you can get them dead and, you know, get them dropping reactants a little bit early on.
I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
Here we go. Now I know there is a spot around here.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Not the spot I was thinking about. I will sacrifice that for that. And that's a bit of a spoiler right there, so we may find a few more of those around here, but that is kind of a bit of a spoiler for
We
what
are
is
finished
to
here.
come.
Move on. Watch yourself. Grenier are on the way. Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position.
These guys are just blowing through this.
I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
They're gonna blow through this, and we're not even gonna have full 10. Trying to get them to slow up a little bit so that the drop chances increase a little bit there.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Oh, I even think there's another Curia in this room too.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
If I remember correctly.
Terminal hacked. Keep moving.
Okay, this one doesn't have it. Let's see what we got going on over here. That does not make it any easier. Ah, there it is. Ugh.
Here is a terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend.
I don't think that's the particular one I was thinking about. Oh well, I can't find it, so we'll just skip it. That's where we came from. And it is still not here. That is a bummer. No.
I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
Sounds like he was coming for a second. The stalker was.
Continue to defend.
Guess that was more like a psych. And this is extraction. That's a bummer.
The odds were against us, Tenno, but we did it. Mission complete. Heads up, a Grineer assault team is headed your way.
I don't know why. They're probably going to give me only about a minute. And then they're going to do a force extract. It's alright. That's a bummer though. Ooh. We'll go with that Ekmal to Link. Yeah, silver ones are always the less common of the drops. So you got bronze, silver, and you got gold.
Excellent work.
So
Tenno.
what we did at the very beginning is we all had selected a relic, and then we all went into the mission and we all used that relic. For relic missions, ideally you always want to be using a relic, because if not, you get like a small percentage of what we got right there. So we got 26 void traces. Typically, if you run this mission without using a relic, you only get like between like 6 and 9. 9 if you're lucky, but really only like about 6. And sometimes it's very, very, very tiny. And when you have other teammates and everybody else picks yours, you get 5 additional void traces just for them picking your relic. That was increased with the most recent update, where they had actually increased it from just everybody picking your relic from 1, and then they increased it to 5 with this last update. So let's see. They want to do Olympus. Let's see, what is Olympus? Yeah, I don't necessarily want to do that, because I need relics, but I do need a Cephalon fragment. So let's see. Let's see if we got that Thief's Wit.
Excellent armaments, operator.
No, it looks like we have not gotten Thief's Wit yet.
Safe and sound.
So what we can do is we will play missions all the way up to the Phobos Junction in hopes that we might actually get a Thief's Wit. Or not a Thief's Wit, a Cephalon fragment. And that will unlock our Phobos Junction, and that will unlock our Phobos Junction.
Okay, you're looking for the mainframe. It's critical that you deliver the payload
Oh,
to
there's
that
another
location.
trick on this map here. You spawn with this one up here, and come all the way up here. Jump, we're going to go right out to this ledge. What do we have right there? Now, you probably heard at the very beginning of the game where they were talking about a group of individuals known as the Queens. This kind of gives a little background to them, those curios. And by collecting all of them, you get a nice little trophy inside of your decorations that you can keep. anything there, so that's not going for us. Let's see if we got any Cephalon fragments going on right here. Oh, what do we have down here? The direction we're supposed to go. And that doesn't do us very much good. We want to go the direction we don't go. That way we can find what we need. Well, you're an Eximus. You must die. Now there are these plants here, and these plants are kind of important. Not currently right now, but you want to scan them because they give you resources that you can use to make other things later. So right now they're not going to do us a whole lot of good, but we're going to do them anyways because then it's less work we have to do later. I am all for doing less things at a later date. I believe we have to get like 6 of them or something.
Your target is this location's computer system. Find and access the terminals. Your target is the reactor. The reactor will have tight security. Watch out for enemy patrols.
We were hoping to find something up there, but we didn't find anything. Oh, but we found a Rux Claw over here. Come on, one more Cephalon fragment. I believe in you. I believe in you. Oh, I thought that was it. But no, it wasn't it. We're kind of on the solo, that's kind of nice. That one has nothing in it. Let's see. No, they're not in there. Not getting a whole lot of these guys, are we? Oh, no, that's not what I thought it was. Yep, so we're almost finding this last Cephalon fragment here. Here we are. We'll just keep looking, we'll just look, we'll just keep looking, look. You have to scour the entire map for these little boogers called Cephalon fragments. You know, I feel like the villain from like Superman is like, I will find you! I will find you, Cephalon fragment. And I shall scan you, and you shall be mine.
That's the reactor. Expose its core and destroy it. That's it. Now get out of here.
Very nice. Very, very nice. There you are. And that makes for the last and final Cephalon fragment. So now let us get out of here. And let us complete our Phobos Junction. And then that is the very first part of Mars. And that would be Dog Days for sure. So let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and we'll complete this up. And then we'll go over the assassin target on this. Things you need to know about the assassin target for sure. Okay, so we've unlocked, so we've killed 150 enemies, we've scanned 3 Cephalon fragments, and then the last thing we got to do is actually complete 2 more Lith relics. Once we complete those 2 Lith relics, then we are on our way to Phobos, and then after we complete Phobos, we are then back to Mars and to that assassination target. And since we did this mission in particular, this actually unlocks us for the Phobos Junction, and we grabbed a couple of plants while we were here on Mars because we wanted to get those plants so that we will save ourselves having to scan stuff in the later future. Excellent. So here we go. Now we're there. So we've completed Ares, and now we'd have Martialis, and then we'd have just the relic, the Lith relics. So it looks like we're doing a survival Lith in Venus. So we're gonna go back to Venus. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna open up a couple more of these relics. Now, when we're relic farming is a huge part of Warframe. When we are relic farming and we're completing these relics are going to give us the best weapons and items in the game. So when we're farming these, we're farming for components, we're farming for Warframe blueprints, we're farming for Warframe parts, mostly a lot of blueprints. So a lot of primed items. So that fancy Wukong Prime that you see being advertised in the market, this is actually how you get it inside the game. You just run these all day. Pretty easy.
They have just shut down systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way. The first life support capsule has arrived. Activate it when your supply is low.
So this is an endless mission type, and I say this by far is my favorite mission type when it comes to relic farming, because like I mentioned before, like you could do the you could do the standard missions, like where you're doing a sabotage, where you can do a capture, where you go in, you do the mission, and you leave. The only reason why I don't like those is because a lot of times you'll end up spawning in, like, at the end of the mission with the squad. Everybody's got their relics, and you know it's important to have everybody so you can pick from their relics. And then everybody else has got their reactants, but because you spawned in late, you know, you don't have the opportunity to get the 10 reactants. And so because you spawned in late, you didn't get the opportunity to 10 reactants, everybody gets to pick their reward, and you just wasted a loading screen, loading in just to find out that you guys are all extracted, and you weren't able to collect everything in time. So that's why I don't particularly like capture missions or spy missions when it comes to relic farming. It's just because it gets slicing and dicey. With endless missions, though, you can stay in these missions for hours. And the longer you stay in the missions, the more relics you get. So you get relics to use the relics, to then get more relics to use the relics, to actually get lots more relics, to end up getting every primed item that you want inside the game. This is really how you do it. It's just staying in these missions and just doing them over and over and over and over. They get fun. My favorite part about this is that when you do get to the higher levels, you really push the boundary of your Warframe. So right now, everything's pretty easy. You know, you go in, you slice, you dice, you shoot. But then, like when you play these long, endless survival missions, you end up having to troubleshoot. Okay, what's my ability? How does that do? How can I crowd control these guys so that I can end up coming in and doing finishers on them like that? And it's just, you just have to get creative. It forces you to be creative. And so you really get to know your Warframes and their abilities, because it really pushes you to the limits to do so. So, we got one relic there. One reactant there. Let's get another reactant. Oh, so these white dots that I'm picking up, these are the reactants. These reactants themselves are what ultimately allow us to unlock the item at the end of the round. And at the end of this round, we'll actually be able to pick another relic to unlock again for another. So each round is 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, we can unlock one relic. In between those rounds, we get to pick one relic to use, and we get to pick a reward. As long as everybody in our squad gets 10 reactants, we all get to pick an item, and we get to pick from each other's items. So I might have a relic, and it has a certain set of drop chances for a particular item. Somebody else might have another relic. And between the two of us, we might get some pretty good stuff. So bronze-colored items are the more common items. Silver-colored items are the uncommon items. And then the gold items that have like the gold badging at the bottom of the items, those are the drops we want. Those are the rarest parts to get inside. Those are the items to get us, guess what? Platinum. You can sell all these items to each other players for platinum, including mods. So these kinds of items are good to farm, because these are how you get platinum. You can just ask somebody for platinum for it, and they may give you platinum, they may not give you platinum for it, but this is how you do it. Is you just sit here and do these missions all days. I do recommend, it's a lot easier to sell sets. It would be true for like any player. You know, if you have a full set of an item, it's always worth more than a non-full set. As a person who buys, Warframes, I lean more towards, buying the full set rather than parts. There are people who will buy parts, and there are people who like to buy parts, and usually they call it prime junk. That's when they're just looking for parts, just random parts. I would never waste my trades doing that. I would just recommend just getting full sets after you get the full set, because a full set is harder to come by than an actual individual part. Individual part by itself isn't really worth all that much, because it doesn't get you a full Warframe. Everybody usually is trying to get a part to complete a set in order to get a full Warframe. So if I'm going to buy if I'm going to buy any part of any Warframe set, I'm just going to buy a whole Warframe set. I'm not even going to buy the part. Just because, essentially, when you're getting that part, you're getting the full set, is what a lot of people will think. But it's just, people will sell the individual part for sometimes more than the sets, and it's just not worth it that way. You might as well just get the whole set for a lot of times what they sell these parts for. Here we go. Now we got some good stuff. So, I'm not going to select this one. I'm going to actually select this Destreza. Because it's a blueprint. I don't have any forma. I'll get some of those formas later. But this is the end of the round. So we all picked from those items because we all had selected relic and we all get to open a relic. So now we get to select, guess what? Another one! So we select another one and we are all running more relics. Now, in a cool update that it had is they allowed us to do what you call radiating relics. Or refining relics. Getting them to, when you refine a relic, what it does is it increases the drop chance of the higher, the rare part. So ideally, you want to be only running refined relics, but that's just not ideal because the way you refine those relics is by getting void traces, which you get from opening relics. So what I recommend is you take the relics that you have a whole lot of, say you have 20 M4s, and I just run the M4s. I don't radiate them or whatever because I'm going to use all those void traces to refine the relics that are rare. Say like that A2 that I had that drops that X the little prime blueprint. I want to radiate that relic because that's a that's a vaulted item, and B, that I'm not as likely to get that item. So that's why I'd radiate that one, and I just want to increase my odds. Give me a chance at getting it, and that kind of means a whole lot more than anything else. Here we go. We're just gonna keep on going. Ooh, my favorite room ever. So I don't know if you saw that. You see how I slid around and threw my sword up in the air? That's me doing a radio blind. That's actually me activating my 2 with a 0 cost. So I always like to do that slide attack because it is just so nice.
Life support on the way.
So after this one, I'm going to go ahead and try to extract because I know we could farm these all day and we'd get some really good stuff that we could sell. However, we're still kind of new to the game and we don't have all the relic tiers unlocked. So we'll have to extract after we've completed 3 because that's going to make us more effective in the long run. And then after we've unlocked all the planets, then we can go back and then start doing more of this relic farming because that's how we're going to get the items that we want. So I recommend getting planets of every single tier before we really start diving into farming this stuff. Even though this is going to get us the best weapons and items in the game, we don't have that 4th tier, the Axie, let alone the Meso. So we want to unlock the planets so we have those available. And eventually, when we start farming for these really, because we'll have all the tiers, we'll be able to get every single item every single primed item in the game just from going into the missions and completing those tiers.
That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission.
And what I really like about this last update that they allowed us to do is we can actually refine in between rounds. So we are almost to the end of this round. I got 10. We got about a little over a minute left, a minute and 10 seconds. And then we'll be able to do that. And I want to show refining the relic because it's kind of a double confirmation kind of deal. Well, these guys are about ready to bail. These guys know that if they bail right now, they're not going to be able to get their item. And I don't think they do. Oh, it might be just because these MR20s don't want to hang around here anymore. I'm not entirely sure why. MR23 doesn't even have anything. Like, oh my goodness. So, with the Endless mission, they can actually leave without taking me with them. And I think that's a better idea for them to do that. Is leave without taking me, because I don't want to go. Granted, this is going to be the last one I'm going to do before I leave, but it's not time for me. Let's see, actually. I should probably start heading to extraction.
Look what our Tenno operative just found. They could not do this without you.
And he left right before we got everything. And oh my goodness, look at that. Prime Warframe. That is part of the pack that we just got. Nyx Prime. And Boar Prime. That Boar Prime receiver is actually volted. Now, these guys obviously don't want that, so they're going to go with mine, which that is completely A-okay by me. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, let's see. I can't radiate any of these relics, but if I was to pull this up, I could actually hit radiate, and then I could actually select this, and then I could hit refine, and I have to hit X twice in order to equip it. So I'm actually just going to do that. But granted, we're all going to leave, so it's no big deal. We'll just stay right there. Oh my goodness, there's a little kid. That's a Tenno, by the way. That is spoilers. Exactly what that is. It looks like he just barely got his Mo amp. Oh my goodness, he's a noob. Granted, we're noobs too, so who are we to judge?
Critical life support levels. Extraction is your best option. Keep fighting. Look for more reactant.
We're all here. If he would just actually just use transference back, we could actually extract. Oh, that's not good. They're not even gonna revive me. For the very reason why we're barely even holding on here and we only got like 6 health is the reason why you don't really stand in the closet, because you just lose all your life support because it decreases the amount of guys that are coming your way.
been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
We're gonna crawl away, crawl away, crawl away. I'm surprised Saren isn't trying to. There we go. Finally, they figured it out that they had to go into their tunnel in order to get us to extract. Oh, took them long enough, but I'm so glad they were able to figure it out. Yeah, so that's very nice. 66 void traces. We got Destraza. We got Nyx Prime Blueprint. We're now able to finally get something. And that made it so that we unlocked a few things. We got our Exalted Blade maxed out. Not all of our items are quite maxed out, but that's okay. Very minuscule in the long scheme of things. So now all we have to do is complete that junction and go on to Phobos, and then we'll do Phobos, and then we will do Mars Part 2 after we complete Phobos. Here we go. Excellent, so we got that. We'll go ahead, we'll leave the squad, because we are now ready to complete the junction. Okay, so again, all these junctions, they actually have a specter of a Warframe guarding it. Each one is different. Each one's going to be a different Warframe. And we'll see what happens when we get into this one, because we should have, if I remember correctly, I think I want to say it's a Mag. So Mag, if you're not familiar with her abilities, what she does is her very first ability is pull, so she'll pull me towards her. Her second ability is she picks up all sorts of bullets and shards and area of effect, and those all zoom in on a target and attack them. And then the third ability basically strips me of all armor and shields. And then the fourth ability is Crush, that picks me up and crushes me. So we're going to try to avoid most of that because it is very, very, very lethal. And we're just going to try to stay at a distance way far away from her. We're going to stay like this. So we're going to just go like this. And boom. That second ability blinded her so she couldn't quite see me, and then opened her up to finishers. And then the fourth ability made it so that I could actually just finish her off. Just like that. Pretty easy. Not a very, very difficult Spectre. And there we go, the Thief's Whip that we needed 2 planets ago. That would have been a whole lot more helpful if we had that a couple planets ago, but we didn't, and we got to take what we got. So yeah, that concludes our Dog's Days and our Mars walkthrough. Like, subscribe. If you have, feel free to give us any questions. And we will see you guys next time on Warframe Breakdown.